While the others are asleep, Tay collects milk and rice from other contestants' buckets and then pours out the rest. Mr. Beast, who was originally told he would only be staying in the tank for an hour, destroys all the food in the kitchen based on a viewer TTS promising $5,000 to charity in return. Production tells him that the tank is his playground today. Mr. Beast starts to revolt against the bit and say he's not interested in being Mr. Beast anymore.
J.
Goddamn.
Hands up, Daniel. Once the toys
Mr. Beast, your video!
Mr. Beast!
Your video! Mr. Beast!
Mr. Beast!
Mr. Beast!
Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
It's okay, buddy. Things are all good.
That's Mr. Beast's.
That's Mr. Beast's shirt.
Yeah, Mr. Beast's color.
Mr. Beast! Mr. Beast!
The fish wonder how to improve their arcs. TJ says he wants to continue to improve himself. Taylor says she will try to think of activities for the other fish in order to demonstrate herself as a leader. She sees TJ starting the process of sorting the mess of wood in the bedroom and comes up with an organized plan for them to do together. About the milk and rice, she lies and tells TJ that the judge gave her new buckets of milk and rice for no reason. Alone, TJ announces that he will not dance to sound effects because he is not Chat's bitch anymore.
No. I'm not your bitch anymore. I'm not your bitch anymore. Doing those dances really sat the strength out of my legs. I'll do it every so often, but I don't mean no disrespect to you guys. I really don't. But if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. And I don't want to do it right now. So I'm sorry if you're expecting me to do that. I don't mean to abuse your donations. I really appreciate them. But no.
TJ gets frustrated once he manages to reach Oliver's stash of rice for the challenge, not knowing whether following Tay's plan or TTS's plan to mess with it would make him a bitch. He eventually decides to dump it. Jet enters and reveals that Mr. Beast is an imposter. The judge talks to Mr. Beast in the attic and asks him if he feels stuck. Greg says he hates being known for his Mr. Beast bit. The judge tells him he's going to do the Mr. Beast bit one more time and then never again, and encourages him to change his branding and promise to grow his hair out. For his final Mr. Beast performance, Greg locks Dunye in a cage in the living room where he will supposedly remain for the rest of the show. Later that evening, the audience votes to allow Dunye to smoke weed in there.
Here, let's fucking, you wanna just burn this thing?
No, that's an expensive wig.
Dude.
Give it to me. TJ or TJ.
You don't want this wig anymore. Alright? Trust me. Promise me, look at me. You don't want the wig anymore. This is a symbol of Mr. Beast.
Okay.
We're throwing this out.
Okay.
It's time to move on.
Take this over to me.
Sure.
Trish gets a pep talk. Trish offers Jet her idea for her arc, given to her by TTS, that she has come out on top despite being bullied and abused. Jet tells her he can't help her with it because it's up to the fish to self-actualize, but encourages her to think of what her recurring pattern of behavior has been and how to break it. The judge asks Trish how much they would need to charge for her to participate in a Give Chris a Lap Dance fish toy. She asks how much a pep talk is. The judge sets it at $200 and she agrees. TTS tells her off afterwards and she decides not to do it, but the judge announces to the fish that everyone will be made to give Chris a lap dance if it's paid for. Trish approaches him and says she still won't do it, and he says that's fine. Some out-of-tank context or foreshadowing. At about this time, Alex Stein announces on his Wednesday night show that he will be in the tank tomorrow. He interviews Brian, who reaffirms that he and Trish had sex in the bathroom on New Year's Eve. Tay explains in confessional that she was raised to be a leader, despite her personality, but has found it challenging to be a leader in a social scenario like Fishtank. She says despite setbacks, she has remained level-headed and is ready to finish the next 11 days. During a marathon stretch in the confessional, Shinji says his motivation has been inconsistent. He thanks Frank for showing him how to be a bad guy, and for the worms, which he will use as a nuke. Vance slides into the confessional and tells Shinji he felt the same cycle of ups and downs when he was competing, and to expect them. The judge trains with the boys, and they try to motivate Greg until he gives up and accepts his fate to remain in the tank. The fish are instructed to build a nest for Chris now that there's a fish toy to put Chris away. The judge warns them that the pretty nest they have created is a fire hazard. The Swamp King tribute is the next challenge. The fish must prepare a tribute to Chris.
As an airport, the performance is terrible.
Last night, our little fish tank marriage, that was a very wholesome moment.
Very glad to see you.
Hey, man.
Let's go!
Couch, and I just thought of something. I'm like, I haven't seen Star Wars in a long time, but here's basically the first movie the best way I understand it. Man, it sure is boring around here.
You know, there's this guy named Chris that I really need to impress. And if I don't impress him, then I'm gonna have to kill you for your lightsaber so I can impress him. And so I defeated him with my force powers, and I took his lightsaber, and I offer it to you.
Show the force powers.
It's true.
Draining his balls is your only shot at winning, Tay. Just focus on those pretty blue eyes, like pools of cool water.
Fatty awards Taylor first place. The judge runs a landslide narrative poll to see if the audience wants to see Taylor and TJ learn boxing. The other fish supervise while he teaches drills. Jet tells the fish,
We're gonna bring in the construction crew and start tearing this place down tomorrow.
Really?
Yep, I'm getting ready for season 3.
I don't know what that means personally. Shinji asks if there would be a position for him to help work on season 3, and Jet says, of course. Oliver is assigned community service in Chris's nest. Jet describes it as the worst community service so far. Trish, again thinking on her arc, says she's proud of what she has done so far. Proud that she is still here and that she is doing her best. Alone, she says she needs to learn how to say no. And she says she could have prevented her interactions with Brian. She says her ex-husband and dad made her question her self-worth. She says if her arc is about her issues with men, it's too embarrassing. Chris comes upstairs and asks to come into her room.
Yeah.
Let me move this over real quick. I'm gonna want to talk to my wife for a bit.
Actually, Chris, is it okay if I was just talking to TTS. Is it cool if I can have some time alone?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm just talking to TTS. Alright, but I'll talk to you later.
Come back and check on you.
Okay. Shut the fuck up.
Jet tells Oliver he can begin to offer Oliver dollars to the contestants, but he cannot tell them production told him to. Tay and TJ pick on Greg in exchange for dollars, and Greg rings the beef bell.
Holy freaking God, Lois. I went down to the store the other day and they didn't have any of the beer that I wanted. None of the beer. Like, how am I supposed to get rowdy with the boys if there's no beer? I mean, we can go to the Clam, but, you know, that's just overpriced and a little bit lukewarm. So I'm not sure what I can do with that. Joe, you know, he never gets to his fridge. I don't know what else to say, Regan, just shoot me.
You got 40 seconds.
Whoa, he's walking. I'll go in the doghouse and I won't. This is bullshit. I don't feel like doing this.
You don't feel like doing Peter?
Either I would be in the thing or you would be in the thing. I don't really care.
Well, you gave up. That was the thing. You still had 40 seconds. You could have recovered.
No, friggin' 1 whole minute of yammering is really fucking hard.
Controversially, Greg ultimately loses because he refuses to do a full minute of Peter Griffin. One final note for you guys today. As I warned folks, I have to take a handful of days off due to an overriding obligation. I'm not quitting on you, but if I continued to create daily digests, I'd be quitting on other people, who I promised my time to before I started this project. A few of my friends have offered to step in and try to make episodes in my absence. I hope they can, and if they can't, please don't blame them. It's not easy. I want to thank you for your support and for checking these out every day. And please give even more overwhelming support and encouragement to the guys if they manage to get some videos out while I am gone. See you soon.